Hey guys, it's Adam, aka Swimbird, and we're back again for this week's snapshot. This is 12W38A for Thursday, September 20th. And this time we've got three big new features, but each one has a bunch of parts to it, so we're going to have to go into each of those pretty in depth. Now, these include a new monster and a new animal that I'll address later, but first we're going to start with the new sounds. Now, C418, who's done all the music and sounds for Minecraft, had made a bunch of these, but Mojang hadn't implemented them until now. So I'm just going to go through one by one pretty quickly and let you hear them. I've turned my sound up a bit. So first off, we'll have stepping sounds. Now, this is the stone stepping sound. It's kind of quiet. But then we also have the wood stepping sound. Creakier. Kind of makes a creepy wood walking sound. Then also we have the grass. Nice and smooth. It's almost like rubbing your feet on carpet. Then we've got the sand over here. A little squishier. It's almost like he's walking on like dough or something. Gravel. Bam. Now this one's a lot louder. And then soul sand finally here. It's like the normal sand, but a lot slower, obviously. So those are all the new footstep sounds. Snow sounds a little different to me, but I don't know for sure if it is. Might be my brain. So, placing blocks has also changed a lot. Now, anything wood, anything stone, they've lumped a lot of these together, but they all have new sounds. Now, here's the wood one. Big old hearty resonating sound for that. And then stone. Very quick sound. And then we also have sand. Bam. Sand and gravel seem to be a lot louder for stepping and placing. Yeah, bam. Throw a big old load of gravel on the ground. And also placing any type of plant has that bristly sound like the grass. It's always a lot louder when you break it, though. So that's most of the placing and walking. Now, if we head over here, there's a ton of new sounds for animals and monsters. Now, I'll start by getting some of these items out of here that I need to use to show you these new sounds. I'm just going to bam, 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 bam. There we go. Okay, so fire has a new sound when you ignite it. It doesn't matter if you use a lighter or a fire charge, but it makes this little clicky sound. It's kind of just like, it's almost like, yeah, when you like grind a flint and steel together or like click a lighter, it makes that, but still does it for the flame charge. And shearing sheep also makes a different sound now. Oh, I got a black one. Listen for this. It's a little snippy sound when you do that. I'm just going to kill this sheep so that he doesn't make noise while we're trying to hear the other stuff. So also, experience, when you level up, there's a new sound. And C418 said he's already going to shorten and change this. So if this is loud and annoying, don't worry, it's going to get changed. Wait till we level up here. Yeah, that jingle is a little too long and a little loud for my taste, but it is going to be changed. And then we also have ladders, placing the ladders. Hearty wooden sound there, and then climbing them. Also has a cool, like going up in the attic sound. Pretty cool. Now let's move on to the animals over here, though. Now cows have a bunch of new stuff. They actually have 4 new sounds when they step, which is like a stomping sound. They have a couple moos. There's one of the new moos right there. I'm just going to get him to walk around. You can hear him stomp and do his new moo sounds here. That was kind of a stomp there. He also does some breathing sounds. There's the old cow sound, but he'll kind of like snort out of his nose like a bull and also do different damage sounds too. Yeah, he's pissed off. So the stomping really sounds like an iron golem if you notice. But let me see if I can get him to do any of these breathing noises. I could spawn another one. There we go. Yeah, perfect. All right, so they make like that kind of breathing through their nose, which is kind of cool. Makes them more unique and makes them seem like they weigh a lot more than they normally, did before. Now, pigs have just a few new stepping sounds, which you'll really hear if I ride on the pig. Oh, he's stuck in there. But if I walk around on him, you can hear his little steps going. He just has 5 new stepping sounds for different walking, so you won't get as bored when you're riding around on the pig. And while I just got stuck in a block. Oh, don't want to light that on fire. Jeez. Sorry, little buddy. Oh no, I toasted him. While we're over here too, water and lava have new sounds, so let's jump in the water and hear that. Ah, it's like a nice bath. Running water also has a sound over here that's fairly constant. You can hear as it goes. It really makes you have to pee. And then I put some lava down here. Lava has almost like a fishbowl sound. If we wait a sec, it pops like it used to, but then it also has this weird kind of bubbly cauldron fishbowl sound. If we can get it to do it, it should anytime now. So it doesn't always kick in, but when it does, you'll hear it, and you're going to notice it pretty quickly here. So pigs, they only had step sounds. We're going to move on to spiders in a sec. As soon as I can get this lava to make a noise for me, which it doesn't seem like it wants to do. Maybe I'll let it flow. There we go. Yes, it's like a bubbly... It's pretty loud. It's like a bubbly sound. Anyways, moving on. Spiders. Now, spiders have a really cool new sound. It's actually like their legs, all of their legs moving around. Let me see if I can get him to... There he goes. Hear that when he's moving? I'll hit him again to chase me. Come on, buddy. I'll spawn a few more just to... Well, if I can get him. There we go. But yeah, you probably heard it a little bit. There it is. It's just a weird little pitter-patter of all their feet. Pretty creepy. It makes them even more, like, creepy than giant spiders already would be. So that's the spider's new sound. Oh, there's that loud level up sound that we get to hear for a little bit. So the spider sound also applies to cave spiders. I'm going to have to turn it to time set night so we can have all the rest of these guys out. Now, zombies have a new walking sound. The zombies make this, it's very faint, but you should be able to hear it if I get him to come. He did it just a little bit there. There he goes. It's like a fleshy kind of like walking on the ground sound. So that's the only one that zombies have new. It's 5 new step sounds in total for them, but it's all just kind of fleshy walking stuff. Skeletons have a lot of new sounds. They actually make different walking sounds. They have a different death sound and different hurt sound. So they've got a major overhaul. There he goes. He's a lot noisier and clunkier, and then when we kill him, he has a very crashy, like all his bones fell on the ground. And last of the enemies here, this is a terrifying one. I'm actually going to have to put some armor on and switch game modes to do this because the Enderman has a terrifying new implementations. I don't know if you guys heard this when the Endermen were made, but they have 4 scream sounds that are new. They just took that block. And they also have a new sound when you stare at them that is like, it's very Slenderman-esque, but it's terrifying. So let's set my game mode here to survival, and listen for this when I look at him. God. Jeez. Yeah. Now listen for his screaming sounds too as we fight him. He's probably gonna do some here. There he goes. You heard one there. But yeah, Endermen are just more terrifying in general. He's teleporting a lot, but if I just sit still, he should get to me. Yeah, there he goes, making his creepy screams. But that stare sound, especially, is really terrifying. Makes me not want to fight Endermen very much, even more than I normally wouldn't, because they're very difficult to fight. So let's switch back to creative before all these guys kill me, and we can go back to daylight, to the safety of daylight. So yeah, the Endermen are a lot scarier. And the last of the new sounds here is that wolves have a and also dogs, when you tame them, they have a panting sound that they'll make. And if the skeleton would die, there we go. Jeez, we're just bombarded by new sounds. So listen to these guys, and they should pant here for you. There they go. Do it again. Come on. Come on, boy. I'll just have them follow me, and they should do it here. There you go. So yeah, they just make a little panting sound. And also in the game's code, there's a howling sound that I'll play for you real quick before you're sick of all these sound effects. But this actually, I haven't been able to find it in the game. So listen here. This is the howl. It's kind of loud. Sorry about that. I'll try to go back into post. There's two different howling sounds. I'll go back and post and dampen those a little because they're really loud. But those I haven't been able to find in the game yet, so maybe they're not added. Maybe they'll howl at the moon. Who knows? But pretty cool stuff. So one other note is that C418 also said that he's going to make sounds for the Wither and the Ender Dragon. He's working on a lot of that stuff, or Dinnerbone rather said this. But it's going to take about a month. So hopefully by the time the update hits, a ton of enemies and stuff will have new sounds. One thing I want to show, this is going to please a lot of builders. They're testing out a new way of placing logs. Originally you had to place them like pistons, but now if you highlight a block that's on the ground, it places it vertical. If you highlight the side of a block, it places it horizontal. Very simple, and I really want them to implement this with pistons because this is way easier than you could lay pistons before, in the wood logs before. They definitely have simplified that. Much needed. So let's get over here, and we're almost going to get to the new monster and the new animal, but I want to show you the beacon real quick. Now, you might have seen this from far off. The beacon has a new animation here. I kind of prefer the light beams that looked like lightning originally. If you saw, like I put them at the end of my pig obstacle course, but this is more animated. It kind of looks more like the Ender Dragon beams, and you'll notice the piston block here has a bit of a new design, which it has a weird glitch where it's got this yellow block when I'm holding it, but then when you place it, it's not there. So hopefully they go back. I kind of liked the way that the beacons were designed before, but they changed them again. So who knows? They might implement another change. All right, so are you ready to see the new animals and stuff? I'm just going to clear a lot of this out of my inventory. I think we are ready to show off the animals and the monster. So the new animal here, I'm just going to let it speak for itself for a sec. I've designed this cage, and let's spawn a bunch and just have you see them here when they come out of that hole. Come on, guys. Come on. The suspense is killing us. Let's just keep spawning. There we go. All right. So this is the new animal. It's the adorable bat. Now these guys will spawn in dark caves, and they just kind of fly around. They're a passive mob. They're more of like an ambient thing right now, at least. They'll spawn in caves. I saw one in a stronghold where I was exploring, so they spawn in strongholds as well. And they tend to try to sleep during the day. They'll find a place to hang. Like that one just did it. He's hanging there. If I get too close, he'll fly away, but you can see him hanging there. And during the day, they try not to be as active, but at night they will fly around more. If I get close enough to him, he'll start flying again to get away from me. But if I back up and just leave these guys, they'll start hanging there because that's what they like to do during the day. So that's pretty much it for them at this point. I mean, this is what they do. They're just in caves, and when you see a ton of them, I'll put a clip here sometime showing a bunch of them. They look really cool, and I like how they fly and stuff. I'm hoping they add more to them, though. The one thing I can tell that they'll probably add is that I bet they will drop a wing for potions, because Wing of Bat, that's a typical witch potion type of thing. I'll spawn a couple over here so you can get a better look at them. Now this is a really close-up look at this little guy. Just do a couple more if I can, so you can see their face. They move around so much it's very hard to see them, but as you can see, there's their little feet and their wing textures, and they're adorable. So my hope is that I know this is asking a lot of having another creature to tame, but I really want to be able to tame these guys. Like I hope we can feed them like a spider eye or a fruit or something and get them and tame them and have them, like you could right click and get them to oh, that one's suffocating. I think it would be cool to be able to right click them and they would like hang on whatever block is close by. And maybe they would have a use. I think it would be funny if, kind of like cats, if they scared away giant bugs, because, bats eat bugs, but the fact that they're so tiny, it would be hilarious if they scared away giant spiders. And another cool use that I've thought for like a flying, like if we ever get a bird, it would be cool to have a pet that would go and actually pick up like any blocks or items that are on the ground and bring them back to the player so that they have a use. But right now, the bat is just kind of ambient, like I said, and it's pretty promising, though. I mean, this is something that if they've added this, maybe they'll add birds, maybe they'll add fish, that type of thing. So it's pretty cool. Jeb also stated when the bat was released that He's thinking about maybe adding turtles one day as well, but the Mo Creatures turtles are so cool that he's having a hard time coming up with a way to make them unique for the game proper. But right now we've got bats for the Halloween update. It's pretty cool. Even though they might be one of my favorite parts of this update, even though they don't do that much. Let's just open this up and let these guys go. Go ahead, fly out, guys. I don't want to keep you caged forever. There they go. They will despawn eventually if you let them go off, but cool. All right, so let's get down to the final thing. Now I'll lower my sound a little bit before we do this, but the last big thing that I want to show you, aside from a couple things during the wrap up, is the new mob, and you know what this is if you've been paying attention. I'm going to put on some special music here and grab the new witch spawn egg. Now the witches, they do not spawn normally in the game yet, but that's because Dinnerbone is working on something unique for them to spawn in. Maybe a house, a chicken foot hut, that would be kind of cool. Now here they are now. They're a little strange looking. They're based off of the villagers, and you'll immediately notice that their nose kind of shifts around. These are aggressive new mobs, and they're gonna exist even past Halloween, so they're not Halloween exclusive. They look a bit like a pale villager, which if I put a villager next, you'll see the difference. See, the villager's a lot darker than the witch is. I could shut this off if you guys aren't digging that music. So the witch, her hat will occasionally emit particles, which is kind of strange. It's like purple particles will fly out, but she will, in her attacks, I can smack her and you can see she brings out potions, and there she goes. She already threw one. You can see the potion in her hand there. And right now I'm afflicted with poison. At this point, she doesn't take damage from poison, but she still has that sound. So they're gonna need to fix that. The witch is immune to most splash potions, because Dinnerbone said you shouldn't use magic to fight magic things, you know. So she's immune to poison and stuff like that. But the types of potions she will throw out to fight you are poison, slowness, weakness, and instant damage. So she could mess you up if you're fighting her and you're not prepared to fight those, have those potions. So you might want to take milk with you. She will also regenerate health and drink an instant health potion, and occasionally a fire resist potion. I found this out and was super surprised when I tried to burn the witch. That's what you would think to do with a witch, is burn it, but she actually drinks a fire resist potion, and there she goes. She's fine. And look, her nose actually, when she wants to use a potion, her nose will come out. She gets a nose boner there, and so that's how you know she's going to attack. She just hit me with some instant damage, I think, but because I'm in creative, it didn't do anything. But yeah, so we don't know yet where it's going to spawn. I'm assuming in a swamp, and I think he's going to make a witch's hut or something unique for it to generate. One thing that I noticed is that you do not... I'm guessing they're not going to put these guys in a group, because if you get a lot of them around each other, and then you get one mad and one throws a potion, it's a witch war, and now all the witches are flipping their shit. They're throwing... There's the purple particles from the hat, if you saw that there. The witches are just pissed off at each other, throwing potions left and right. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm guessing these probably aren't going to spawn in groups, because witch wars will break out, and innocent people will be caught in the middle. So yeah, this is the witch. A couple things that I kind of wish, the nature of their skin is a little hard to notice unless you see them near a villager. I kind of wish maybe they would have a greenish tint to them, but I guess we have zombies that look like that. I also think Dinnerbone should maybe lower the hat a little, because it looks a little silly sitting on top of that giant villager head. But for the most part, I'm pretty pleased with them. They do regenerate health, if I didn't mention that already, in addition to their potions, so they're going to be kind of hard to fight and kind of special if they only spawn at certain times. So this is a pretty cool new mob. I'm excited for it, and I'm guessing he's going to add more related to it in the future weeks. He just finished modeling it and doing stuff, so he might even change the texture and model before next week. So we'll see. But that's pretty much it for the witch right now. She's just this is also supposed to be gender neutral. It's not supposed to be a lady. It's supposed to be gender neutral like all the other stuff in the game. So yeah, she looks like she's got some type of slowness on her or something. Anyways, witches, pretty cool. Now let's do a little feature roundup for the rest of this stuff here. Now I can also I was gonna show you this before, but you kind of saw them hanging on there already. I'm sure. Got to grab a bat egg. But originally I had this portal here, and that's how I discovered that bats could hang, because I spawned one and it just hung on there. Pretty cool. I'm going to light this portal up, and you're going to see here, oh, the villager just went right through, and the bat. Now, portals on creative mode, they will actually instantly take you through, which is pretty cool. And the nether loads in general a lot faster, even on survival. Oh, there's a bat in the nether. That's pretty cool. But yeah, and also I can pull out my bow here to show you that Dinnerbone finally, since a few weeks ago, has maintained momentum through portals for stuff. Like, now that arrow, when I come through, should have shot out and hit somewhere around here. I have no idea where the heck it went, but it does maintain momentum now when you send stuff through the portal. So that is a good improvement on that. A couple other little things real quick. Silverfish blocks, the stone monster eggs, will spawn naturally in the wild. When you're mining, you might encounter silverfish, so look out for that. Item frames, if you notice, you can see them from really far away now. It's 20 blocks used to be how far you could get before they disappeared, but now they will stay visible, which is really cool. Now, if you're wondering how I did this, if you grab a sign and an item frame, you can actually put it on a chest if you want. So, like, you place the sign here, and then you put the item frame on the sign, and if you break that sign, the item frame will hover there, and you can put a chest and say, this is my bat egg chest. There we go. I've got a sign on there. So that's a pretty cool little tip if you want to put signs or item frames directly on chests and stuff and dispensers, because you normally can't do that. There's a few command block improvements, just making the length of the commands a little longer, and specifying player, like game mode and all that stuff. Like, that's, he's just added a lot more functionality to that. And also there is now that we're almost done, this command was added last week, clear. I can just clear my inventory, removed 166 items, and you can also specify clear me, and then you put in like an item number and a amount, and you can clear just specific items. So if you're on a server, someone has something they shouldn't, you can take it away from them if you are enabling cheats and you're like the moderator. So anyways, that is pretty much it. I'm just gonna hang out with my witch buddy here, and we're gonna watch the bats come out at night, and all that fun stuff. There goes that villager. He might want to go in the nether to get away from that zombie. So I will see you guys next week, when we'll probably see some improvements to these witches and these bats. And thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Lots of cool stuff this week. New sounds, new monsters, new animals. Well, one each of those. So we'll see what improvements we get, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.